Hey guys, Yuk from Team Super 7 7477. Today, we'll be talking about arrays versus array lists. So let's get started. So let's start with arrays. Let's create a brand new array. So to start, let's do a string data type. So type string, and then you want these. Make sure this S is capital or else it won't recognize. Then you want to do, let's call it friends array. Friends array. There we go. Now we've done that, put an equal sign. And let's name our friends. Let's name them, let's say John. Put some there and then put John. To separate them, use some colons like that. And then next, let's say Chris. After Chris, let's say something like Jonathan. I don't know if that's how you spell it, but yeah, there we go. Now that we have gotten our names, we have created an friends array. Now let's do an array list. Now before we do that, let's say arrays, so they cannot be changed or edited because they have a certain limit and you can set that limit. But array lists, they're more flexible. You can add to your array list. So most people like to go for array lists. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start an array list. So say array list. Make sure to capitalize it. And then let's make it a string since we made the array a string. There we go. Now call it friends array. Oh, don't call it friends array. Call it friends array list. So that way we have a difference. Now once you've done that, put an equal sign and say new array list and use a diamond operator or otherwise known like a greater than and less than sign. So do that. And here's where you'll use our diamond operator, which looks like that. And right after that, you want brackets. And inside the brackets, say arrays dot as list. And then you can start your array list. Make sure if you get any errors to correct your errors. So as list, there we go, okay. Now let's put in the same names, John and so on. So we got John, then we got Chris, and then we got Jonathan. Then at the end, put semicolon, And there we go. Your program should be ready unless you have a couple of errors. It should be running. We do have an error on line 5, looks like. Let's try and figure out what that is. New array list. Okay, so the reason your program is not working is because you need to import your libraries and stuff. So import, you want to say import java dot util dot arrays and array lists. So let's do arrays first, and then put a semicolon. Now let's do import array list. Java dot util dot array lists. Semicolon. And now your programs, there we go. We don't get any errors. Now that we've done that, let's get the length get the length of the array and the size of the array list. So to do that, in the curly brackets of your main method, you want to do system dot out dot print line, do friends array, and then let's give it, so we need to give it an index. So let's say index 1, which should be giving us Chris, because so index in Java goes 0, 1, 2. So yeah. So technically when you're counting, Chris would be 2, but here it's 1. So let me show you. Like, let's create a comment. And so this is how it'll go. So create a box, and then 0. Next we have 1, and then we have 2. So that's what indexes look like. So we should be getting Chris here when we do that. Let's just get that, prove it works. And there we go. We've gotten Chris in our running operator. Now let's do array lists. It's called size and array list. So let's do system dot out dot print line. Go, and then do friends array list, since that's what it's called, and then array list. Array list, and then dot get is what you have to do for this. Okay, so yeah, I've done a couple things wrong with mine, but we can fix that later. Dot get, and then let's do the index of 1 again. Semicolon at the end. Now the problem is we just need to delete the S because I forgot I didn't put an S. There we go, and now we should be getting two Chris's. There we go. Now that we've done that, let's add an element to our array list. Sadly, you cannot add an element to arrays, as I was talking about earlier. Arrays is fixed. You can't change it. It's done. When it's done, it's done. So, but you can do that array list, as I said before. So now let's set it. So let's say to add it, say friends array list, assuming that's what you called it. And once you've done that, friends array list dot add, and let's add myself or like that. So arraylist dot add, and then when you do that, just put curly brackets, these, and say myself. There we go. Once you've done that, semicolon at the end, and then print that out. Since this will be number 3, so system dot out dot print line number 3. So basically what you'll do, since it's array list, as I said before, you want to do your friends array list, friends array list, and dot get 3. Oh, I got that. Dot get, and then brackets. And then you want to put 3 and semicolon at the end. And now you should be getting Chris myself. There we go. Now let's set an element. So let's do it with arrays first. So to set an element, what you want to do, so name a person. So let's say friends, and arrays can do this. So that's what we're going to do. Array list. Let's set the index to 0. There you go. Once you've done that, set equal, and let's name this person. Let's say Ethan. So say Ethan there, and make sure to put a semicolon right there, and there you go. Now let's print that. Now we've set Ethan to the index of 0. So once you've done that, system.println and everything else so that you can print it, system.out.println curly brackets and put friends array and set that to the index of 0 so that you do get Ethan 0, and there you go, semicolon at the end. Let's check our work. We should be getting Chris, myself, and Ethan. Looks like we do have, so we should be setting this to friends array, to the friends array list. There you go. And there we go. We've got Chris, myself, Ethan. Now what if we want to do this with an array list? So now let's do that. It's almost the same thing, so it's easy to memorize when you need to code this for your program or whatever else you need this for. So let's do friends array list, friends array list. There we go. Now say dot set, and then do, so you won't say it's an index, but you are saying an index. So let's say in our list we want 0 to be Ethan 2. So the Ethan, there we go. And once you do that, you want to, make sure to put it in these. And once you do that, you want to print it out. So just do the same thing you did before. Well, sort of the same thing. And then curly bracket. and say friends at Arraylist dot get. We did this before, so you guys should know what to do. Arraylist dot get, and then put the index of 0 and semicolon at the end. We should be getting 2 Ethans now. There we go. Chris, myself, and Ethan. Now lastly, let's remove an element, and that's all for today's video. Okay, so arrays cannot remove an element because they're not as flexible. So all you have to do to remove an element in arrays list is super simple. Just do the name of your array list. So friends array list. There we go. Once you've done that, say dot remove, and let's say we want to remove John. Let's remove John and John. Semicolon at the end, and should be done. And we should have removed John, but let's do this to Chris to make sure our work is working. Okay, so there. That's all for today's video. It may not show it in your running area that you've deleted it since you printed it, but here we have our removed our index number 1 from our friends array list, which was listed here, and we've added on to it throughout our program, and we have printed all of these out. That's all for today's video, guys. Thank you guys for watching.